So today, I'm really honored to talk to you all about COVID-19 vaccines. I'm going to be talking to you, though, about perspectives and expectations and experiences over the last year. So in this talk, I'll be talking to you about the scope of the pandemic overall. So what are these coronaviruses? Are they something completely new? We do have seasonal coronaviruses that circulate every year like colds, but we've had a few that are more likely to cause problems in the past. The virus itself has this interesting structure. It has this sort of helmet around it with little spikes on the outside. Stage of the disease, this is very important when coming up with treatment options, because you have to know not every medication is correct at certain stages of the illness. So the early stage of disease is really where the virus is making more and more copies of itself. The virus is replicating, and a lot of the symptoms are from the viral replication. There are risk factors for more severe disease, but you can't predict. There are people who fall into these risk factor categories and don't have very severe disease. But if you have these, then of course you're at higher risk. What are the ideal characteristics of a good vaccine? You want a very good safety profile. You want things that are not going to cause too many adverse effects, any bad effects. How has vaccine development moved so fast? Can I trust it? But the good thing is that people were working on these technologies since the time of SARS and MERS. I told you that SARS was from 2002. So they've known about similar viruses for many years. So this is new, and yet there's a lot of similarities that they were able to use based on previous knowledge. You can see these are the vaccines that we are looking at now against SARS-CoV-2. Moderna, I'll go over the platform, I'll explain it a little bit more in a minute, but it's an mRNA vaccine that requires 2 doses. In the trials, 15,000 people got it. So it's not that this is some small number of people. So as I said, I would explain the vaccine platforms. People don't quite get what it is. The guidelines are now over the next, several months. Now we started with healthcare personnel and long-term care facility residents. So sort of skilled nursing home residents were 1A. And now we're getting to frontline essential workers, and people aged greater than 75 is in 1B category. So these are guidelines from the CDC to each state government. What we want to get to is herd immunity, and that's different from individual immunity. It means that there's protection from infection due to the presence of many immune individuals in the population. Remember, as we're getting the vaccine, we still need to do our social distancing and masks. Vaccine doesn't always prevent against mild illness, so you can still get the virus. You can still be exposed to it. So we still need to use our masks, do our social distancing until we get enough herd immunity and the numbers really go down and we get enough protection out there. So this Mahatma is saying, so the person is coming up to him and saying, "Oh, wise one, what is the path back to health and happiness?" He says, "Back up 6 feet and I'll tell you." So even Mahatmas are recommending social distancing. That's the end of my presentation, but happy to take questions. And
how long is the vaccine effective? We don't know for sure.
That we don't know for sure yet. We do know that we expect that immunity will last a long time, because with infection, we're seeing good T cell and B cell responses 8 months out. With SARS, you still see immune responses 5 years out. So there's no reason to think that the immunity won't be long lasting for this as
well. Do you see COVID vaccine becoming something that we continue to receive in the future as a booster, like the flu vaccine? I think we kind of talked about that.
Maybe. It doesn't, coronaviruses don't mutate as fast as the flu does in the same way, but we might need to. Moderna and Pfizer are already looking at what changes they need to make to their vaccine based on the current mutations. So.